my YouTube channel. So in this video today, we are going to be discussing a really sensitive topic that a lot of you guys have placed comments. Well, I guess it caught you guys' attention enough to where you have to comment on a certain video about the Akatas versus Africans. So, you know, in that video, I know a lot of people were saying, oh, the Toby Obumseli situation is similar to me, and you know, we're kind of like on the same league and things like that, and whatever happened to him is going to happen to me. Guys, I highly don't recommend that, that anyone talks down on anyone. You know, the purpose of that previous Akata video was just to kind of clarify the differences between Akata and African Americans, but never ever to play down someone and say, okay, you know, this one is better than the other. But overall, I did also want to share my views on white people as well, and tell you guys what I think about them, you know, because this was a really evil act. And if you guys look at a lot of my videos, I talk about evil women out there and why it should always be recommended to avoid women. Not all women, but evil women, kind of like the typical one society knows and are prevalent to or aware of, like Karens and all of that. Those are the ones I really kind of emphasize on this channel to not, you know, engage with. I know in a previous video I was kind of talking about like how I thought white people, you know, were nicer, and I want to clarify that white people are nice. You know, there are some really nice white people there that I've met and I've encountered, and it doesn't change. You know, the number of white people I've met compared to the black people I've met that have been nicer, it is the white people that have been nicer. But here's the catch to that. What I did want to mention is that a lot of white people are really good actors. Like, they know how to bring their Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt on when it's time to act. So, you know, in terms of being a really great actor, they've got it. You know, no one can really compete with them on that, because it's like, even if they're having a worse day, they're gonna act that out. They're gonna act like everything's fine and make you believe their fallacy. So there are a lot of con artists there, you know, with white people. They know how to act. But just to say that, you know, with Toby's girlfriend, I don't know if she was a pure act or she was just with him for money. I know there was a video basically stating that she made previously during a documentary that, you know, she likes guys with money, and to be particular, she likes black men, people of color. You know, so it could be that she was on her gold digger phase, you know, for anyone to be on OnlyFans and, you know, kind of showing their ass on a website. I mean, how desperate can you be? It shows she was pretty desperate if she's doing that, you know. So it's kind of giving me that gold digger vibes, to where, you know, you want someone that has all the luxury, all the finer things in life, but you don't have that. You know, you don't have that Rolls Royce or that Mercedes. You don't have 6 figures in your account. You know, you don't have these luxury designer things, but you would love to sleep with a guy that can get that for you. In this case, it proved to be fatal for Toby because he did pass away. People kind of put the correlation between me and him because we are African. And I guess his comment was more so against black people, which I didn't have a comment against black people. My video was more so about the difference between cultures, Africans and black people, like Akatas is what we were referring to them as. But with his own, is like he went straight to the point and was just like, okay, I don't like black women, or something like that. Like, I would never date a black woman. And, you know, I know he was referring to Akatas in that moment because if he's African, there's no way his African people are going to say don't marry Africans or don't like African girls either. That's no way. They're not going to do that. I have African parents, and they're going to actually promote you to date and marry people within your niche, within your same tradition and culture, which is an African woman for Toby. But what he said in that Twitter post is what I understood. He understood, okay, he doesn't like black women, and that was something he said when he was in high school. So you just have to understand the meaning of what he said. You know, but it really sucks that at the end it was, you know, the kind of race he was liking, you know what, but he never even said that he liked white. I never saw the comment where he said, I like white women, you know, versus Africans or versus black. So I can't speak on that, but I'm just saying the way that it ended up and he did pass away, you know, because of a white woman, was definitely sad and fatal. And it could have been prevented, you know. Like, a lot of times, you know, like I said, I'm African, and they do, you know, a lot of Africans, they don't tell you to go out and marry white people. They don't say that's the land of gold. They don't give you an award for, or accolades for marrying someone that's of white or Caucasian descent. No. But of course, if the exception to that is like if he did fall in love with her, if he did really like her, you know, and that was probably something he wanted at a young age, growing up, like he already saw his future with the white person, then of course, you know, then I guess that's a benefit for him, because he's getting what he wants. You know, he likes white women and he wants to be with them. But the fact of the matter is that Karens will always be Karen at the end of the day. No matter the facade, no matter how good they act, once you live with someone in your home, that is when you really get to know how crazy they can get. When you sleep with someone next to the bed, or if you have this terrible argument and you're sleeping with someone next to the bed, they hold a knife on you, or they're watching you while you're sleeping, that is like red flags. These are things that you shouldn't just take as nothing. And that is the mistake that Toby did. There were different accounts and sources that mentioned he and Courtney had a lot of tumultuous arguments. She was the aggressor a lot of the times, but because he's coming from an African household, you know, you never put your hands on a woman. You know, the highest thing you can probably do is just shout and scream back and argue back. But as soon as it gets physical, you don't counter that and fight back. No. So, you know, I do believe he was not the aggressor. You know, he was definitely the laid back person, but he failed to realize that white women still have that Karen in them at the end of the day. They're still going to complain if you do any little thing. If you shot on them, they can lie and say you actually abused them physically and threaten their life. And he will go to jail as the black guy, not her. So the fact that he just, I guess it was love, you know, that made him to forget the actual truth of society and behind white women. Because, dude, literally, like I said in a previous video, one of the nurses I was working with literally told me, and he was a white guy, told me, man, you will not want to have any kind of white woman as your patient, because they will treat you like you're the scum of the earth and you're a slave, and they will want you for their beck and call. Anything, little thing you don't do, complaint and an issue on you. You will be held liable. So whenever he told me that like 2 years ago, I was like, oh my God, I will always be aware of Karen. No matter how good they act, no matter how good they smile, they have that in them. That is their nature. That is in their genes. It will never be taken away. So it's really, really sucks for him, for Toby, because I think it was just, he looked at he had all the luxury things he wanted, and he thought, I guess that was it. You know, I got the luxury life, plus I have this white Caucasian girlfriend. What more can a guy ask for? You know, but it really sucks. I do see sometimes some interracial couples that do work, but in this case, it's just like, you got to know who you're getting married to. You got to know who you're living with. Living with someone is a serious big deal. You know, that's when you see everyone's true colors. So, you know, in terms of the little comment, going back to what Toby said about that comment about black people, how he'll never date a black woman or they're trash. That's something that was just taught to him at a young age. It was taught to me as well. Don't ever date akatas. Don't ever date black men. They're not worth it. They don't know how to be successful. They're crazy. It was told to me as well. So, and I kind of said that in a previous video as well, that how I'll never date an akata. But, you know, for Toby, it's like, I know the context that he met it in, because I'm African as well. And it's no hard feelings to him. It's not that, but it's just like the fact that it turned out to be his death and led to his demise. It's crazy. You know, it's true that you know, some akatas are bad, not all of them, but some black people are really terrible and they're not like African and good and have that good vibe. That is true. But the same thing goes for white people as well. You can't say one is good and then one is bad. There's always going to be issues within each and every single culture that you come across. So that's something that I don't know how he just thought it was the end all be, you know, by being with Courtney, or that she was the lasting factor. But man, that really sucks. And to see that she went to the restaurant, you know, afterwards and asked for a drink at a cocktail at the bar and just act like it was a normal day, you know, didn't spend any time in jail, took advantage of the little plea they have in the state of Florida for people that wanted to claim mental issues, something like that, you know, and just went about her day. You know, it's like that's something that's like in the past. She's probably out there looking for another man to, you know, see and go dig on and be a go digger for, and that's just the end of it, you know. And I will always say this: if you're willing to just show your body on the internet for money, or if you're willing to show boobs and do sexual acts on the internet for in exchange of money, that is literally prostitution. You're just doing it out of a very skillful way, in a clever way, but you're still prostituting yourself for money, and that's wrong. So Toby should have definitely been mindful of her actions and just really kind of got to the core of the fact of how they came together or why they're together. They really should have had those hard conversations of why are we really together, because that probably would have shed some light on why is this white woman with me? You know, is she with me because of my money? If the money wasn't here, would she still be there? So those considering factors were just overlooked, and it really sucks that that happened to him. But what I really think about white people is that not a lot of them are just evil people. I can't say that about all, because I've had some really, really nice ones that have helped me move out of a really dingy apartment, canceled my lease, given me a ride to school, like been very, very sweet to me and haven't done as much evil. And then like literally there are some white people that hasn't committed these acts to me, but I've seen some white people that have, you know, yelled, say racist remarks, killed people, you know, and, you know, but that goes with every single person, not just white people. You know, black people do it too, Indians do it too, Chinese do it too. So I can't like scrutinize white people's characters and traits so much. All I can really say is that they are really good actors. There is such a thing as Ken and Karen, so everyone should be mindful and aware of that. Don't ever go into a situation naive, because you will come out as the sore loser for not knowing these things ahead of time. And like I said, may Toby's soul rest in peace. You know, had he just been with a Nigerian girl, you know, or an African girl, or, you know, there's many races out there that he could have chosen aside from Courtney. But, you know, literally, like I was trying to tell one of my commentators or subscribers, I am not the greatest fan of white people. I do like them. I do like that they're nice people. I do like that they do have some respect and manners. But I don't see my life with them living further. Like, I won't feel comfortable sleeping in the same bed with a white person. I'm just so sorry. They are creepy. They have certain characteristics about them. Some of them don't clean. You know, some of them just only like to complain and find fault in other things. And who wants to live with someone like that? Like, so in terms of that relationship aspect, or spending the rest of my life with someone, it won't be a Caucasian person, unfortunately. And I know love is blind. I know love can come in different forms and shapes, but you really have to scrutinize your relationship when you're in it. Test your relationship. Start an argument out of nowhere to see what that would really come out of, or what would come out of that. Like, a lot of times when you do arguments, the truth kind of comes out in those arguments, literally. Like, not saying you want to just be negative in the relationship, but ask these hard questions. Have these really, really hard conversations that are going to reveal the truth and some things you probably didn't know in the relationship. So it is very tragic. I'm sad for him. You know, we are going to take a moment of silence for him since we are discussing this topic. So towards the end of the video, but it's really, really sad that he didn't, you know, and this happens to a lot of guys. Guys never see the bad in women. You know, this is just general. Not even that she's a white woman or he's black, but general. This is not the first time couples have killed their spouses or one another. You know, it's happened. You know, I don't think it's going to stop happening. And it's just like, man, you know, everything sounds good, you know, when you're probably dating, but when you just it's when you live with someone, all those things that were just said earlier are blown out the window, because you see a different side of this individual. you know, and you have to go by the actions. Always go by the actions versus words. Actions speak like louder than words. It does. So, you know, it's very sad. I know he's from the same country as I was from, or I'm from, sorry, Nigeria. Yeah, and it's sad. You know, you really have to keep an eye out for Kens and Karens. They will ruin your life. You have to know your state laws. You have to know what you can and can't do. But luckily for Courtney, you know, she was able to know, wow, you know, there's this law that, you know, if I stab someone, I can actually claim mental psychosis and go to a mental institution for 3 days and no liability here. I'm out. I don't even have to serve any jail time. So she knew this, you know, she knew what to do. She knew the words to get out of it. She hired an attorney, you know, so that way she doesn't have to speak to the press or get questioned or anything like that. Sad to say, but she was pretty smart on how she just murdered her spouse or murdered her partner and honestly got away with murder. White people love to get away with murder, like literally. It's something that if they could just do something and get away with it, it's fine. And you just have to know the laws. You have to know exactly what you can and can't do. You know, Black people are still always going to be that minority in society. You know, no matter how rich you are, no matter how much money you have, you know, even me that's saying, oh, okay, Akatas versus Africans and oh, I'm African and yada, yada, yada. They will still look at the color of my skin and judge me accordingly and consider me as a minority. So there's no differentiation there when it comes to the color of your skin. Like, Black lives matter all the time, and Toby should have been smarter. Like, I just wish he would have just known, like, as you're going through the moment, things are going to be great, but these heated arguments that are getting physical are not normal. Physical abuse is never, ever should be tolerated. Because the thing with physical abuse is that if you allow this person to do this to you once, you don't really have a reaction to it, or you just probably say, oh, you're overreacting, get over it. And it keeps recurring and recurring because it's like you're allowing this permission, you're giving this person permission to keep up these actions of physical abuse. And then it's like once it just gets to that final straw of where this person is really fed up with you and they want to hurt you so bad, it can go as far as someone getting a knife from the kitchen and stabbing you to death, or pulling out a gun in their closet and shooting you to death. So there's so much things that can happen in a matter of time with physical abuse, to where if you don't catch it on time, it can be fatal. And a lot of times with guys is that they feel that this woman is not capable of anything. What is she worth? Forget it, you know, or they will kind of like overlook a woman's evilness and think that, okay, she's just all talk and no action. But that's a mistake as well. You know, everyone is capable of evil. Everyone's capable of doing something really, really bad. You know, and guys tend to think that they're so strong and macho man and can handle this and handle that. But women are sneaky. Women can poison you. There's so many ways that women can like try to poison someone and or kill someone or end someone's life. And it really, really just, it sucks. It's evil. It makes me embarrassed to be a woman, because it's like, these are evil acts that no one should ever have to go through. You know, may his soul rest in peace. I keep saying that because it's just, wow, that was like so instant. It was so like rapid, you know. And what I always do is just study. Sorry about that. What I do is just study people, study their actions. And I'm not going to say all white people are bad, but I just like, I'm so careful with white people. Like, a lot of people say like, oh, you're going to end up like Toby with the Valley Girl accent you have. You're going to be right with you know, a white person. I'm like, forget it. Like, there's no way that will ever happen, because I can see through bullshit. Some people don't have that capability, and it's always sad for them. But I can, like, me and my family, we see through that shit like clear as day. Like, You know, you can tell when someone's being genuine. You can tell when someone's being fake. These people are just really skilled at being so faked and acting that it's like you think it's the normal, true actions of someone, and it's not. You know, the fake crying, all of that. I've seen it before. So, you know, it's more of the reason why I'm just like, okay, only during business interactions or something like that, or something I have to do like school, but nothing ever personal. I do not trust white people personally with my personal life, with anything in my personal life, you know, because it's just like they're conniving, they lie on people, you know, especially minorities. You know, look at the situation now. There's no one that's serving justice for this guy passing away. It's just bury him in the grave and call it a day, put him in the cemetery. So that's crazy, you know, for not knowing your state laws, you know, like and a lot of guys don't want to look like a wuss or a scared guy for like complaining about a girl. But you know, like with white women, it's just like they're so evil, you know, like I'm pretty sure she doesn't even care that he passed away, you know. And I don't know, like I'm very careful with my words, you know, because white people love to complain. If you say something that just doesn't coincide with what they think, they will complain about that and say you're being very evil, and or not that you're just not good. And they'll, you know, like I've seen many things. They'll try to get you fired or say something that's just really going to irritate you and really make you have a bad day. It's like a natural thing with them. So man, you know, it's very hard. It's very hard, but I try to stay away from white people as much as I can, unless it's something I have to do, like working with the patient, or, you know, business wise, going to the dentist, or, you know. But it's just like they're really, really artificial characters out there. And man, you know, had he seen these characters, had he known something was wrong, he probably wouldn't even be with her. You know, and they know how to get crazy. White women know exactly how to get crazy, and who needs that? Like, if life is too short, you know, I want to live long, you know, why would I want someone taking my life away, you know? So when you stay in these unpurposeful relationships, that's what could happen. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think of white people? What is your true what are your experiences with them, you know? And you know, I feel like white people just have this entitlement, and they do have that white privilege. It does exist, so they always take it to their advantage. This is exactly what happened with Toby. It sucks ass, you know. And you just have to be careful. Like me, as I'm right here right now, I don't have any white friends. I don't communicate with any white friends at all. I actually prefer Spanish friends better than whites, because white people change their character so often. You don't know what is true. You don't know what's accurate. You don't know if one day they may like you today, then tomorrow you're evil and they want to kill you, you know? Like, that's the kind of characters you see with white people. And, you know, if I try to not talk, I try to not say anything. I just do my business and go about my way, because if they want to lie on you and get you caught up, they will do it. So you just have to be careful. Know the people that you're surrounding yourself around. Know their character. Don't go with the flow and smile and say, oh yeah, this is fun, I like this, oh yeah, oh really, good. Go beyond that level of just artificialness and service level conversations, and you'll really get to know the in-depth reality of white people. White people are very sneaky and cunning. There's a lot of them that have killed their husbands, killed their spouses, and on the run. They don't have to serve any life, you know? It's because they know the law. So I watch a lot of crime shows, and this is just really, really sad. But hopefully the justice, he does get some justice. It was a sad situation, but you know, all we can do is hope. Let me know what you guys think about the video. Let me know what you guys think about Toby. What do you think of white people? And yeah, just let me know. Thank you for tuning in.